Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy to have you here, guys. In today's video I want to review a fragrance that not only that I've had it on my wish list for a very long time, but I can say this is one of the few fragrances that was a true love at first sniff. Like the first moment I've ever smelled this fragrance, that's the moment it has mesmerized me, it has put a spell on me, and I couldn't wait until I've added it to my collection, or I couldn't wait to add it to my collection. It has awakened quite a reaction, you know, and it's something that doesn't happen very often, especially considering that I am testing dozens, hundreds of fragrances. It is quite a special fragrance. I was even thinking if I would like to mention it. I have mentioned it briefly in my fragrance wishlist video, where I was discussing a little bit about different fragrances that I want to add to my collection, and I've also highlighted Captive from Brecourt. Since you are clicking on the video, you already know I'm talking about this fragrance, Captive from Brecourt. I'm not very familiar with this brand. I think I've tried two fragrances from them, this one Captive and Farah, but this one, yeah, but we will get to that part in a second. So in today's video I want to let you know how this fragrance smells like, how it develops, how it performs, if I find it similar to other fragrances, what kind of energy it gives me, so everything about the fragrance. And I also want to talk briefly about the other fragrances, because I have purchased the coffret, I think, like if it's in French it's coffret, I think. That includes this fragrance, Captive. This is an Eau de Parfum concentration, and it's something very interesting I've noticed. It includes an absolute version of the fragrance as well as an Eau de Cologne. So I also want to mention the differences, because this is the first time in my life that I ever get to experience the same blend, not like a fragrance that's an eau de parfum and then you have a flanker that's like an eau de toilette and they change a little bit the notes. This is like the actual same fragrance, is just in three different concentrations, and from testing all of these three different concentrations I've noticed few very interesting aspects that I would like to highlight. So let's just start. Now I received from someone who's watching me, and we exchanged decants every here and there. She sent me more decants, multiple decants, and she included a decant of this fragrance. And when I've applied it on my skin, it's even hard for me to find the words, but I don't think I can put into words the effect this fragrance had on me. Now, I want to make a small disclaimer before I start the video. Please keep in mind that fragrances are subjective, okay? And just because a fragrance put a spell on me, just because I'm madly in love with this fragrance, just because I couldn't wait until I've added it to my collection, it doesn't mean that it will have the same effect on you. So please just keep in mind, I am ultra biased when I'm talking about this fragrance, you know, because it's like I'm talking about one of my favorite fragrances. So keep this aspect in mind. But yes. Now, I will add the notes for the fragrance right here. Also, by the way, the perfumer, from the little research that I did after, I will add her here on the screen. It's this perfumer that has this brand, from what I read. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I will add here on the screen. But in a way, I can see it's a little bit different thought through this brand. You know what I mean? Because I've never in my life came across a brand that includes this kind of different types of concentrations. Now, let me just apply this fragrance. Of course, I will apply it on my skin. Oh, and something also I like about it. My cat scratched me here and it kind of burned. Anyways, you have two types of options when it comes to how you spray your fragrance. So you can do like half a spray, like this, you know? And I like to do this half a spray when I just want to do few sprays of this fragrance to just enjoy it throughout the house, or when I go out of the shower, you know. But you can also do like a full spray, and the full spray is quite, it has a lot of fragrance dispersing out, bursting out, you know, so I'm not gonna do a full spray because then I will have fragrance here on my viewfinder everywhere. Now this fragrance, so this is not something I would naturally fall in love with, or I would usually gravitate towards, or this is not something that I ever thought would mesmerize me in such a way. This is a floral forward fragrance. Indeed, it's not just a floral fragrance. It's a floral fragrance that's dressed with very interesting and beautiful and addicting to me facets. and my cat is on the other side of the door. So this fragrance opens up with a floral accord that feels candied even. Not candied texture-wise, because the floral accord feels quite heavy. First things first, it's a very decadent type of floral. Nothing green, nothing indolic, nothing animalic, nothing carnal about it necessarily, but it's a heady floral. I pick up a lot of orange blossom and jasmine in the opening. But imagine they feel rich, heady, heavy, but at the same time they feel very airy and breezy in a way, you know? And it almost feels like they are covered into this candied feeling almost. So you have the smell of candied florals in the opening. Then as I'm smelling this fragrance, I pick up a gentle candied violet facet in the background. I don't think it's listed. If you hear my cat, I'm sorry. But every time I film, doesn't matter that all the other rooms in the house are open, she wants to come here. Anyways, so I also pick up a gentle candied violet facet in the background that's not listed, but it adds a gentle purple touch, you know? But that specific sweetness of a candied violet accord. So I'd say the opening is dominated by the florals, like I've mentioned, very unapologetic, loud, quite strong and decadent kind of florals, even though they don't feel narcotic or carnal or anything like this in particular, but they feel strong, rich, decadent and sweet at the same time. But to me, the best part of this fragrance, I mean, I love the opening, I love the heart, I love the dry down, but the best part, it's from the heart till the dry down. You guys, oh my god. When I smelled it on my skin, I couldn't believe it. So this maintains the floral accord as the highlight, even in the heart part, but it's the undertone that develops, that accompanies the floral accord that made me fall in love with this fragrance. So as the fragrance develops, you still have that beautiful, decadent, very womanly and quite of a seductive of a floral accord, if you ask me, the orange blossom and the jasmine to my nose, with a little bit of a candied violet or something irisy violet-like, but not the kind of violet that leans dewy green, like a leafy green, that kind of violet, or that after the rain kind of floral accord. It's not that. To me, it's, again, something a little bit sweet and floral purple, you know what I mean? So you have this floral trio that still shines, but it develops the most beautiful, creamy, nutty, milky accord. Legit, it smells like almond milk, you guys. But not just the regular almond milk, like almond milk, but make it even better, even more delicious, even creamier in a way. So the floral accord feels like it's enveloped by this almondy milky facet, so it feels much more creamy. It starts to lose a little bit of the airiness, of that breeziness from the opening, you know, so now it feels much more creamy, much more dense. It has even a slight gourmand undertone about it. And it's at this moment on that the fragrance that I fall in love with the fragrance. Now, as the fragrance develops, you still have these two pillars, basically. I feel like they will be the pillar from the heart till the dry down. The floral trio with the almond milk, but I also start to pick up gentle incensey facets. But how to describe it? It's not like a full-blown incense accord that's the spotlight of the fragrance. It's like you have everything that I've described you, and from somewhere deep in the background, I can pick up gentle incensey whiffs that add some depth to the blend, but they don't take from the creaminess of the fragrance, they don't take from that electronic facet of the fragrance, they don't take from the sweetness of the fragrance, they just add again a little bit of complexity and this mysterious even quality to the fragrance. And it has listed patchouli, and I do pick up again a gentle patchouli, but I feel like in the last bits of the dry down is the creaminess that shines the most, with gentle peaks of something floral like I've mentioned and sweet, and with a little bit of incense, with a little bit of patchouli. But don't think this is made around the incense accord, because it's not. Guys, when I smell this fragrance, like how to even put into words how it makes me feel. So it makes me feel empowered. It makes me feel strong, it makes me feel confident, but not the kind of strength that comes across as assertive. No, it's the kind of strength that comes from embracing your inner softness, if you know what I mean. It's not like that kind of bossy, assertive, loud kind of confidence in a way. How to even describe it? You know, it's that feeling when you finally embrace your inner softness and your vulnerability. I don't know how to pronounce this word, vulnerability. And that makes you confident, because to me it truly takes strength to show your soft side, you know? Because I feel like it's very easy to come, not even here online, even more so online, because you can put so many masks on. But even in like your day-to-day life, you know, it's so easy to put up walls, to try to act all tough, you know, especially as a woman. And you think this is what confidence, this is what being strong means. Perhaps this is what you have been taught. This is what you have seen grown up. This is what you have seen perhaps of women you've appreciated around you, who knows. But when you actually let your inner softness, your inner femininity, your inner light shine, and it's the softness that makes you strong. Yeah, this is how this fragrance makes me feel. It makes me feel soft, it makes me feel feminine, it makes me feel girly, it makes me feel radiating, yeah. And to me, it embraces or it awakens that inner, not really fragility, but that inner playfulness that I feel like every woman naturally has, you know. But again, different fragrances awaken different flavors or different energies within you. And I think this is what makes, or this is what make fragrances. This is what makes a fragrance. This is what makes a fragrance, let's just say, so special, because for one woman, it might, let's just say, awaken a specific flavor or energy within her. And on another woman, it might awaken a different flavor or a different energy within her. Yeah, now I told you what kind of energy, or let's just say what kind of flavor this fragrance awakens within me. So yes, I think it's such a special fragrance, you guys, because I don't know, for me, I feel like when I was younger, I haven't even noticed my sensitive side, but I feel like once I've hit like 2021, that's when I've discovered that actually I feel like me as a person, I feel like I have a very soft heart, you know? I feel like it took me a while to fully embrace it, and as crazy as it might sound, but this fragrance in a way kind of helps me embrace it even more, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I feel like, this is why this fragrance is so special for me. This is what it awakens within me, and because it's such a special fragrance for me, I've actually bought it for a while, but I've postponed wearing it because I was like, oh, I'm going out there with those kind of people. Nah, I don't want to be that the first occasion I'm wearing this fragrance. It's like, oh, I kind of want a different occasion. So yes, but I have actually started to wear it and it makes me feel so good. I actually sense that this will be one of my signature fragrances in the near future, and especially this spring and summer. And from now on, I don't know, this fragrance has a very special place in my heart. This will not be that kind of regular review, you know, with like, oh, this is the most projecting fragrance, this is a beast mode, smell sexy, do this. To me, this is more of a personal fragrance. This is why I've even thought if I want to come here and I want to do a review on this fragrance, because I couldn't just come here and do a review like, oh yeah, this smells like this, it lasts like this, gender is this, season is that, versatility is this, see you in the next video, bye, you know. To me, if I decided to do a review for this fragrance, I kind of wanted to speak from my heart, because I have connected on a personal level with this fragrance. With some fragrances, I enjoy how they smell like, but I don't feel a connection, as crazy as that might sound. But with this fragrance, I have felt quite a connection. So yeah, I think it's very special what the perfumer did with this fragrance, because it makes you feel empowered as a woman. And again, I'm not one who loves floral fragrances, but I love what she did with this fragrance. And I don't want to sound biased, I don't want to say this because I'm a woman, but I can genuinely feel a woman's touch in this blend, you know? That combination between gentle, strong, assertive aspect paired with the most beautiful, gentle, creamy, soft accord, and with the floral accord that feels so womanly and seductive, it results into a composition that feels playful, that feels seductive, that feels womanly, and to me, like I told you, that embraces your softness as a woman. So yes, enough about how the fragrance makes me feel. Let me get back to the performance of the fragrance. So first time I wore it, I was going out with my best friend to catch up, and I decided, you know what, today is the day, I'm gonna wear this fragrance. And because I was so excited, I think I got a little bit carried away with the sprays, and especially considering that I'm used to more heavier fragrances, and not really heavy because this is a heavy fragrance, but to darker fragrances, you know, to more decadent notes in general. I kind of oversprayed it, let's just say. I feel like 15 sprays, perhaps a little bit more, because when she came to pick me up, I did a few extra sprays to top up the scent, you know. And she actually complimented me on this fragrance, and she told me, I asked her, what do you think about this fragrance, how does it smell like to you? And she told me that to her, for some reason, it smells like Alien, and it gives her a similar vibe to Alien. And even though when I smell it from close, it doesn't smell like Alien, but I can sense that purple facet and the jasmine that could remind some of Alien, but to me, The purple facet comes from the candied violet, and the jasmine is not done in an alien-like way. So let me get back to longevity. So longevity actually is very good. I'm gonna do a full spray on my arm so you can see how concentrated this fragrance feels, because again, it doesn't feel like, concentration wise, it doesn't feel just like, do I have makeup on this? Yes, I do have a little bit of makeup, but it's okay. It doesn't feel just like an eau de parfum, you know, it feels even more concentrated. It feels very oily. Performance, I don't think it's an issue with this fragrance. Genuinely, I don't think it's an issue. And this actually kind of made me, how to explain, not really fall in love, because I have fallen in love with this fragrance, but it kind of has, again, awakened my appetite to discover more of this kind of blend, you know, like something floral and sweet paired with different creamy accents and with some notes that add some depth to the blend. Yes, let me just show you. By the way, sorry if you see makeup stains. I love makeup, what can you do? Hold on. Do you see the level of oiliness? Let me show you. Like, this is my skin without anything on. Do you see the level of oiliness this fragrance has? Again, ultra oily, ultra oily. Performance is not an issue. Longevity is not an issue. Projection is not an issue. Wow, yeah, this is the story with this fragrance. I am so grateful to the person who sent me a sample, because I honestly, if I'm being very honest with you, even if, let's just say, at a certain moment on, I would have been interested in exploring this brand, I don't think I would have purchased myself a sample of this fragrance, because it didn't really seem like the kind of fragrance that I would wear myself, that screams me, you know, like when I look at the note, it screams me. No, but when I've smelled it and when I've tried it, and I feel like this is again another lesson for me to learn to be less black and white in life, but also when it comes to fragrances, and to be a little bit more open to exploring different scent profiles. Yeah, I'm very happy to have this fragrance in my collection. And now let me mention a little bit the differences between concentrations. Let me just take them out. And also, not just, she hasn't just added 2 different concentrations in this coffre. Again, I think it's coffre. She also added 2 other fragrances in a roll-on version that you can use to layer with this fragrance, which again, I thought it was an interesting aspect. Now, let me talk a little bit about the difference that I've noticed. So, I am not a perfumer, nor have I studied perfumery, nor have I been in like a direct contact with a perfumer. I have never seen like behind the scenes, like how a fragrance is made. I never got to be in a lab to experience different levels of concentration of specific notes and everything like this. I feel like everything I know about fragrances, I know from what I've smelled, you know, and from, yeah, developing my nose in general, and from reading about fragrances and from testing them side by side to kind of pick up some differences between different types of rose accords, different types of oud accords, different types of coffee facets, you know, yeah. But I was such pleasantly surprised to test this in a way, or not really test, to discover this. I feel like it's a better choice of word. So you guys, in my mind, I thought that, oh, it's so nice she added an absolute version, because this fragrance will be like the OG fragrance, but like on steroids. And I was like, when I will go out, I will just put this one in my purse, I will do 1 or 2 sprays, I will top it up with the eau de parfum, and I will go out and I will smell amazing. But I was shocked to see that this doesn't actually smell, I mean, of course, it's the same recipe, but different ingredients shine, you know what I mean? Yeah. I thought, like I've mentioned, this will be even stronger, but in a way I thought the notes will remain the same. But it's very interesting to see how, when she raised the concentration of the fragrance, the actual fragrance oils, it's the florals that took over the composition, versus here, where I feel like the floral accord, it's very well balanced and harmoniously blended with that almondy milky accord, with a little bit of incense, with a little bit of patchouli, you know? Yeah, see, for instance, here on my hand at the moment is the almond milk that shines the most, with the florals in the background. But when I was testing this fragrance, I think I've tested it once or twice, I feel like it was the florals that took over, and don't get me wrong, I loved how it smelled, but I actually love what that almondy milky facet adds to the composition. So yes, it was interesting to see how the same fragrance formula, like the actual fragrance formula, it's not like different recipes of perfume, it's like the same fragrance formula but in a different concentration, the effect it can have over what notes shine, what accords shine, what takes over, what steals the spotlight. So yeah, that was very interesting to notice. And now let me briefly mention on the Eau de Cologne. After I saw this, again, I was not even curious to try the Eau de Cologne because I was like, maybe I will just use it one day and I will refill it with this actual fragrance, you know, so when I will go out, I could just put this one in my purse. But I was like, you know what, let me just try it, because after I saw what happened with this one, I was actually curious to see what happens when you lower the concentration of the fragrance oil and when you amplify the concentration of the alcohol. And this fragrance, now in this fragrance, of course, is the same recipe, so it smells alike. All three smell alike, but there are different notes that shine and that take over. I was surprised to see that the strength of the scent, I can't really say that it's much softer. It doesn't act or behave like a regular Eau de Cologne or like an Eau de Toilette even. What actually happened, to me, I feel like it's that almondy nutty accord that starts to shine the most, and to me the florals almost take a step back and the scent in a way is constructed around that almondy milky facet. It's so interesting to see the effect that different concentrations can have over the same fragrance. Wow. Yeah, and again, I was not familiar with this, not because I didn't knew it necessarily, because from reading about fragrances, I have learned that, for instance, the same raw material, for instance, take, I don't know, like absolute of something, dilute it at different concentrations, and at a certain concentration it can give you this, at a certain concentration it can give you this effect, and then at the third concentration it can give you the other effect, for instance, you know. But I never got the chance to actually sense this myself, so for me it was very nice. So this is everything I wanted to tell you about this fragrance Capti from Brecourt. It truly captivated my heart, you guys, and I think it's a very special fragrance for me. I wanted to share this fragrance with you in case you were perhaps interested in testing new fragrances, and also maybe you will find this review helpful. Who knows, maybe other women are interested in trying out this fragrance and perhaps they could find this video helpful. By the way, if you did, give it a like, leave me a comment, you know, engage a little bit with my video if you would like to. Because after the situation with the bots that has been happening for a month, you guys, for a month, now I feel like it has finally stopped. A few days ago, it has actually finally stopped. I don't think I've received one comment from bots, but it has disrupted a little bit my reach. It has disrupted a little bit, but that's life, you know, that's life. This is everything I wanted to tell you. If you have tried this fragrance or other fragrances from Brecourt, let me know what you think about them. Let me know if any of them stood out to you. Let me know if any of them have captivated your heart, have stole your heart. Yes, I've also tested Farah. Now I feel like objectively that is a very beautiful fragrance, but because I've tested other fragrances that share similarities with that fragrance already, so this is not like the first, nor even the second or the third fragrance that I'm testing in that scent family, I feel like in a way it didn't really surprise me in such a way, but this fragrance, especially considering it's not something that I would usually reach for, yeah, I love it. I love it so much. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to like the video, leave me a comment if you want to support my channel, follow me on Instagram if you would like to. I will see you in my next video, but until then I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye guys.